morning to all of you. Honorable Vice Chancellor and Administrative Secretary Education, Mrs. Anandita Mitra, our Registrar of the company, Registrar of the University, Dr. Baljit Singh Khera, Dr. K.S. Teensa, the COE, Dr. Navleen Multani, Dean Research, Director SITS, Dr. Amitoj Singh, respected distinguished guest, Dr. Onkar Singh ji, uh, dear faculty members and my fellow students. Good morning and very warm welcome to all of you. On behalf of Jagat Guru Nanak Dev Punjab State Open University Patiala, it is my privilege to welcome you all to the important awareness seminar being organized in observance of World Environment Day 2025, which is going to be held on 5 June. So every year on June 5, the world comes together to reflect on the state of our environment and to take collective action to protect our planet. So this year, the theme is especially relevant and urgent: ending plastic pollution. As an institution committed to sustainability and societal well-being, PSOU is proud to contribute to this global movement by organizing today's session. Plastic pollution, particularly microplastics, has emerged as one of the most dangerous environmental challenges for our time. These tiny, often invisible plastic particles are entering our soil, our oceans, and tragically, even our bodies. The consequences are grave, not just for the nature, but for the human health. So today we are fortunate to have with us our esteemed expert, Dr. Onkar Singh, Head of the Department of Zoology and Environment Science at Punjabi University, Patiala. Dr. Singh has spent years of researching environmental science, and in this session, he will enlighten us about the harmful effects of microplastics, how they affect ecosystems and human health, and most importantly, what we can do to avoid them and protect ourselves and the future generations. So, this session is more than just a lecture, it's a call to action. Let's all listen carefully, ask questions, and commit ourselves to making small but significant changes in our daily lives to reduce plastic use and embrace eco friendly alternatives. So, once again, I welcome you all and thank you for being part of this important initiative. So, before starting Sir's lecture, I just want to give an overview about the credentials of Dr. Onkar Singh. Onkar Singh Bradets, Sir, is the head of Department of Zoology and Environment Science at Punjabi University. His area of specialization is fish and fisheries, ornithological studies, aquatic biodiversity and toxicology, wetland ecology, conservation and management of aquatic ecosystems. Sir is PhD Zoology in 2002 from Punjab University, Chandigarh, and he is member of many professional bodies, for example, Indian Bird Conservation Network of Bombay Natural History Society, Mumbai, member of Academic Council, Punjabi University, life member of Electron Microscopic Society of India, and many other. Sir's technical proficiency is in fish and fisheries, fish habitat studies, fish taxonomy, stream and river ecology, fish toxicity, wetland conservationist, ornithological studies. Um, Sir at Punjabi University is the General Secretary, Punjabi University Environmental Society since 8/5/2018. He has remained the warden for the hostel for international students, warden for the research scholars, technical member of environmental cell in the Punjabi University, and he has guided many PhDs and has written, I think, more than 70 research papers in various reputed journals. So I welcome you, sir, for this lecture on the plastic use and its hazards. So I just want to tell you that this program is in collaboration with Pollution Control Board of Patiala. So our incubation, startup and entrepreneurship cell and School of Business Management and Commerce in collaboration with each other, we are organizing this lecture. We have sent this link to all our students of BCom, MCom, of BA on all streams, and students are joining us. And I hope this lecture would be beneficial for all of us, as not only as the students but as the general public, because all of us are dealing with the plastic, all of us are getting affected with this hazard and the danger. So over to Dr. Rankar Singh Baraj. Thank you so much, sir. We welcome you once again, sir.
Madam, thank you very much for the nice introduction. So, madam, I have just shared my PPT with you on your WhatsApp.
Okay.
I'm unable to start from here from my computer.
No, no
Please,
issue, sir. No issue, sir.
please वो तो शुरू कर दो.
ठीक है जी.
So thank you very much for inviting me to deliver this lecture on a very by the way topic of the day today. We can say plastic is a menace by the way. So since our country starts developing, so with the advent of development of India,
WhatsApp
we
कहाँ है
have,
इसका?
we have started
मेरे WhatsApp
the
में भी.
production of plastic in a big way. So in the 1970s, we have started production of plastic in a big way. So that's why now this plastic has become, we can say, menace for us. So plastic is made up of many chemical compositions. So it degraded in a it can degrade. We can say that is thousands of years, millions of years. It can remain into the earth. So that's why it is nowadays menace for us. So today I will talk about the impact of importance of plastic in our life, and after that, what we people are by the way facing from all these we can say products. So plastic, we have so many water bodies here in Punjab. So we have so many important wetlands. That is, we can say six international type wetlands. We have many ponds in villages. We have rivers here in Punjab, and the throwing of plastic into these we can say natural resources is a big problem. So with the advent of UV radiations from the sun, or secondly, we can say that is uh, other aberrations and other frictions. Plastic become plastic used to degraded, fragmented into many small particles. मैडम हो रहा है जी. हाँ हो गया हाँ जी हाँ जी. सो मैं कमांगा कि सर तो प्लीज फॉरवर्ड कर देंगे हाँ जी. So I was talking about microplastics. So please, when I used to ask, please only then forward the uh, slides. So as I already told, plastic degrades very slowly, often over hundreds, if not thousands of years. So it degrades very slowly. So first of all, it by the way fragments into big parts. From big parts, it becomes smaller parts, so many smaller parts, and it reaches up to nanoparticles. So probability of microplastic being ingested and incorporated into and accumulated in the bodies of tissues of many organisms. So in those, I was talking about water bodies, that rivers, ponds, and we can say wetlands. So when plastic is introduced into these water bodies, so please switch off your microphones. Some echo is coming. So full screen हो जाएगी मैडम में full screen. अच्छा full screen ही है. So, so I was talking about these plastics are fragmented into so many small particles, big to small particles. Some of the particles we can see with our naked eye, and some of the particles we cannot see with our naked eye, and we people have to see under microscope. So here you can see on the screen. So microplastics, by the way, macroplastic. Macro means which we people can see with our naked eye. They're known as macroplastics. Then we have microplastic, very small in size, and hardly is some of those particles we can see with naked eye, and some we cannot. Now further, we have nanoparticles. Nanoparticles, those particles which are very small particles, and we people cannot see with the naked eye, and they are nowadays infested into our natural resources, soil, air, even water. So organisms which are residing in, by the way, we can say that is aquatic ecosystems, they are being ingested these microplastics, and these microplastics are being ingested into so many important organs of the organisms like brain, kidney, liver, skin. So, and they are causing harm to the organisms, and they are again causing so many deadly diseases to the human being which are feeding upon these fishes and other organisms. So this is how. So we can see from uh, is these nanoparticles can reach up to 10 raised to the power minus 9. So next, please. So this is how microplastics are, by the way. So now, plastic pollution size categories, we can say macro. I already told. Okay, we can see with the naked eye, and these are above 25 mm. 25 mm, 2.5 centimeter. And now meso, the next category, these are less than 25 to 5 mm. So this is how. And micro, less than 5 to 1 mm. So these are very, very small, by the way. And then we have mini micro particles, or we can say nanoparticles, and they are less than 1 mm to 1 micrometer. So they are very small, and we people cannot see with the naked eye. And if we want to see, so please off your mic, please. Back. One slide back, please.
Excuse me, sir.
हाँ
I do
जी,
have a question. I do have a
हाँ जी.
question, if you don't mind.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
हाँ जी, madam. Please speak.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Well, I can see you're giving this wonderful, we're having this conversation about environment and all, but I can see
Okay.
there is this one person, his name is Samwad. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. So
Sambal
he's the,
Studio.
yeah, that's the person, his mic is open, so you can
Mic is
tell
open.
him.
Sambad Studio. Please switch off your mic, please. That is
Yeah,
creating
perfect.
that is creating
Okay.
some noise. So we can see that these nanoparticles we people cannot see with the naked eye, and these particles are being ingested by the organisms. So this is nowadays this is posing a big threat to our organism. So they have infested into our food chain, into fruits, vegetables, grains, and all other things. That's why they are, by the way, they're by the way invaded into our aquatic ecosystem and ultimately into the human being. So a major problem with microplastic material is their ability to absorb other common environmental contaminants. If we can say, okay, if microplastic they entered into our body, and then our body becomes susceptible to absorb heavy metals even. That's why in our laboratory we people have studied heavy metal occurrence in the ovaries and eggs of the fishes. Not even ovaries and eggs of the fishes, we have reported the heavy metals into the eggshell of birds as well. So nowadays, if these heavy metals are highly prevalent in our ecosystems when plastics are entered into our body, and these plastics can further absorb these heavy metals, and the absorption of heavy metals become manifold if plastics are there in the body. So these are, by the way, we can say very, very dangerous nowadays. And this is all due to the, we can say, the rampant use of plastic products uh, by the general masses, or we can say we people. So such as metals, pharmaceuticals, personal and other products. Consequently, the microplastic can potentially cause diseases such as cancer. So they can cause cancer as well when they were infested into our body. Then malformation in animals and humans, impaired reproductive activity, and reduced immune response. So when they will enter into our bloodstream, and they can also suppress our immune system, reproductive inability, we can say. So we can say that is reproductive infertility. That is the giant, the human being, we can say male and female, they become infertile if this microplastic label infested into our body. So next we can say this, according to the how the largest producer of plastics in the world, Asia. Asia, where we people are residing, that 50.1%. So India, including all Asia, we people are using 50.1% plastics. Then Europe 18.5%, North America 7.7%, Middle East, Africa 7.71%, then Latin America 4%, and Commonwealth and independent state 2.6%. So now you can see Asia is the largest producer and Asia is the largest user of these plastic products. Next, please. Next slide, please. So in 2000, in 2000, the estimated that there are between 15 and 51 trillion individual pieces of microplastics in the world ocean. This is a number. This much number was there, which was estimated to weigh about 93,000 to 236,000 metric tons. That is present in ocean. These are the microplastic present in the ocean, and this is how, because our rivers, they carry plastics along with them due to the rainy season. They are further filtered into oceans. So that's oceans are the ultimate garbage house of plastics. So many plastic. I will show you slides further. Not only the plastic which is being thrown from the rivers to the oceans, but when the fishermen, they used to catch fishes and their nets are being thrown to the ocean, and those are slowly degraded into the water and they become microplastics. So this is a less than 5%, 5 mm in length, not a specific kind of plastic. They're small, barely visible pieces of plastic. So those are present. Next, please. So this is how. So now you can say various types of plastic we people have identified from the rivers, oceans, and other water bodies, soil as well. And we are seeing here. Arshdeep Singh, please. So this is how. So they will infested into our mighty organisms, fishes, which are ultimately eaten by the human being, and thereby accumulated into the human being as well. Next, please. So classification. So these microplastics are basically classified into two categories: primary and secondary. And primary is divided into two, that is primary A and primary B. So these are the type A are chemicals and produced from cosmetics, cleaning agents, paints, toothpaste, shampoos, shower gels, and fiber from the laundry. So they are type A. Next, please. So type B includes plastic particles that are generated during the use of plastic products and are directly introduced into the environment as microplastic. Tire abrasions. So uh, tires of various vehicles are clothing fibers and synthetic clothing. So small particles from these articles, they are degraded, fragmented into small particles, slow and steady, and they are from these kind of products. Next, please. So then we have, now we can see here. So most microplastic contain organic polymers with chain of carbon atoms. What we can say that is polyethylene, polypropylene, polyethylene, tetraphthalate, polymethyl. These are all chemical compositions from where PVC, PC, polyamide, PA, polyester, PES, polyester clothes from the clothes. So these from these chemicals, these small particles, they have these chemicals. They have so many disease-causing properties. That's why we are worried. Oh, if these microplastics will enter into organisms and they can cause so many deadly diseases. Next, please. So then type I already explained, that is primary microplastic and secondary microplastic. So, and they are from our natural resources, that is ponds, rivers, and ultimately they are filtered into, they reach into ocean. And ocean is nowadays is full of microplastics. So every individual, every organism, right from microorganism to macroorganism, right from microflora to macroflora, we can observe nowadays. I can explain in future future slides. So that from microorganism to macroorganism, these microplastics are infested into these organisms, and this is by the way very dangerous sign. Next, please. So these are the primary products. We can facial cleaners, cosmetics, plastic pellets, industrial abrasives, and then 3D printing powder. So this is how they contain microplastic primary A. Next, please. Next, these are primary and secondary. So clothes, water bottles, plastic bottles, food packaging, and tires, and they contain uh, those chemicals, and those chemicals, when they fragmented into small particles, and then they become very much dangerous. Next, please. So I already explained, okay, this can happen due to multiple kind of external influences. How these big particles they become small particles. They are with the purpose, with the impact of UV radiation. When UV radiation fall on macroplastic, big plastics, and they become brittle with the UV radiations, and with the brittleness they become smaller particles, fragmented into smaller particles. Then bacterial reaction can also degrade these plastics into smaller particles. So then also friction, when they travel along the water from thousands of kilometers to the sea, and these big plastic particles they become small particle, and they used to strike with the big boulder present in the rivers, and they used to collide with the wooden logs and other frictions present in the water, and they become smaller particles when they become brittle with the advent of UV radiations. So, so large particles they become smaller particles. So this is how. And if we say pieces of plastic per kilometer square in 1972 to 1985, only 60 number pieces of plastic per kilometer, कितने से गए 60 only. And 2002 to 2012 they become 457. So particles per kilometer square. So microplastic particles. And you can see here with the advent of and further they increase 10 folds, 18 to 160 to 188,000 pieces of plastic per kilometer square. So now you can see nowadays, and this much number is there in our water. So now in 2015 study estimated that there was between 93 and 236,000 metric tons of microplastic in the world ocean. So ultimately they are reaching, they are they are they are being propelled to the oceans from the rivers and wetlands and other we can say ponds with the rain itself. So this is how in 2023 a latest research, a growing plastics smog now estimated to be over 170 trillion plastic particles afloat in the world's ocean. So urgent solution is required. If now you can, it is very startling that 170 trillion plastic particles. We can see in 1972 how many was there? Only 60 per square kilometer. Nowadays, if we can see in 1 square kilometer, there are 170 trillion plastic particles. So this is how. Please, next, please. So this is how microplastic. They are from plastic productions, cosmetics, garments, landfill or sludge, wastewater treatment. So canals, wastewater treatment. We can say sludge. Sludge contains these plastic particles, microplastic, macroplastic, and many others. And ultimately they reach in the ocean and contaminate aquatic organisms. So aquatic organism, we can see that is uh, almost almost two-third population of aquatic organism that lives in the ocean. One third is in the freshwater, and two-third in the ocean. So you can well imagine if two-third aquatic organisms are living in the ocean and they are being affected with these microplastics. So detrimental impact on human health. Ultimately, we are catching fishes for the purpose of eating, and from those fishes which are already infested with these microplastic, and then we eat, and then we develop so many diseases. So cancer and infertility as well. Successive development of detection, and now we have so many techniques, and with that we people can identify the occurrence of the presence of microplastic in the ocean. So gradual improvement of removal. So now we are, by the way, developing so many techniques that we can slow and steady remove, try to remove. But ultimately, we people have to stop the use of microplastics. Next, please. So microplastics are being increasingly detected in the world's aquatic environments. So last 40, 30, 40 years, we are very much concerned about the microplastic. The first study on microplastic in 2011 that found average 3.8 fragments per square meter. So in Haroon, in Lake Haroon, sediment samples. Haroon Lake is present in America, and 2011 they have studied 30.7 fragments. And additionally, studied have found microplastic to be present all the Great Lakes with average concentration of 43,000 microplastic particles per kilometer. 43. This study, first time study conducted in any aquatic ecosystem, that is Lake Haroon, and this is a cluster of lakes. So those are known as Great Lakes. Next, please. So these are the lakes. This is by the way Lake Haroon. So 13.8 particles, and this is a Lake Superior, and this is a cluster of known as Great Lakes. And now you can see okay, how many particles, thousands of particles per square kilometer we have found into these lakes ultimately due to the occurrence of plastic with the use of plastic products. Next, please. So the highest concentration of microplastic, that is 4,000 microplastic particle per square kilometer. So this is the Haroon River. This is the, we can say, Rhine River from right start from here, Holland, and it travels through whole Europe countries. So this is up to France, Austria, Switzerland, and this is the lifeline of Europe countries, and they are now contains so many microplastic. So even though these Europe countries are highly developed and they have cleaned their rivers with by spending billions of rupees, but the state like India or country like India, we are developing countries, and we people cannot spend that much money to clean our natural aquatic ecosystems, and we people have to stop the use of plastic particle articles uh, from now itself. Only then we can save our natural ecosystems and ultimately the human being. Next, please. So I already explained. So these rivers are, by the way, contained so much geophagous soil fauna such as earthworms, mites, and coliobolon could contribute to the amount of secondary microplastic present in soil by converting consumed plastic debris into microplastic. So earthworm-like organisms, when they ingest macroplastic, and they used to convert those macroparticles into small particles, that is microplastic, or we can say nanoparticles. So this is how, if they're present in the soil or the rivers or the ponds, lakes, and they may harm our mighty organisms. That's why we are experiencing the decline of organism with a very fast pace. Next, please. So airborne microplastic are that we have detected in the atmosphere as well as indoors and outdoors. The microplastic, by the way, not present in the soil or we can say aquatic ecosystems. The where we people are breathing, they are also present in the air. Small particles that are floating into our atmosphere, those are being inhaled into our body and they can affect our lungs. So they are present in indoors as well as outdoors. In 2017, study found indoor airborne microfibers concentration between zero point 0.1 to 60 microfibers per cubic meter. So now you can see number 60 microfibers. You can see when a ray of light is we can say shed into our rooms, then you can see so many microfibers from our clothes. They are being spread into our room systems in the indoor systems. So 60 microfibers per cubic meter, so 33% of which were found to be microplastic. So this is how we are not safe in the air as well. In indoors, which the clothes we are using, from those clothes, the fibers are being disintegrated, and out of that, 30% are microplastics. So this is how which are being inhaled by us. So another study looked at microplastic in the city dust of Tehran and found 2,649 particles of microplastic within 10 samples of street dust. So this is how I mean to say here is, that's why I'm quoting the examples here. Okay, microplastic nowadays are everywhere, spread everywhere. So they are posing big threat to our lives. So with ranging samples concentration from 83 particle to 605 particles, plus minus 10. So per 30 gram of city dust. So this is how microplastic are spread everywhere. However, much like freshwater ecosystem and soil, more studies are needed to understand the full impact. And we have in Punjab yet not studied. And one a very meager study was conducted into the Hariki wetland, and we have found microplastic in the water of Hariki wetland. Next, please. So I already explained the clothings. Many synthetic fibers such as polyester, nylon, and acrylics can be shed from clothing and persist in the environment, or we can say indoor environment. So those indoor environment become polluted. So each garment in the load of laundry can shed more than 1,090 fibers of microplastics with fleeces reaching to the highest percentage of fiber, over 170% more than other garments. So the garments made up of nylon and other things, so polyester, and they can shed so much microplastics in the indoor environment as well. So the process of washing clothes causes garments to lose an average of over 100 fibers per liter of water. So this is how, when we used to wash clothes in the washing machine, then one cloth can shed 100 fibers per liter of water. 100 fibers. And if we are by the way using 50 liters of water, you can see, so we can you can multiply 100 with 50. So this is 5,000 fibers per liter of the water we are releasing into the environment, or we can say our aquatic ecosystems. So the indoor concentration was zero point 0.1 to 60 fibers per cubic meter. So this is I already explained. So this is how. So indoor environments are again very very polluted. So we people have to take care of all these things. Nowadays there are exhaust fans which can easily catch indoor microplastics. Those are being installed by the people. They're very costly nowadays, and those are being installed by the rich people yet. And those we can say that is exhaust fans are yet very very costly, and the general masses cannot afford those. We can say up to this time, those cannot be afforded by the general masses. So this is how we have to take precautionary measures. Next, please. So recreational or commercial fishing, marine vessels. So all the we can say that is fishing nets हो गए. So that is we can say nylon. We can say that is strings with which we can catch fish, hook and line. So those are the threads are made up of nylon, and they used to be spread into the sea and fresh waters when they're discarded into those aquatic ecosystems, and they slowly fragmented into small particles, and they're again contributing. We can say that is the fishing gears that is we can say gill net, cast net, hand nets, and those can contribute to the microplastic in the ocean and even freshwater ecosystems. Next, please. So now you can see these are the nets. We have these are present in the ocean, and these are discarded nets. They are known as fishing gears, with which we use to catch fishes and other organisms. So these are being discarded into the ocean, and with the advent of UV radiations, bacterial action, and abrasion, and we can say friction, they will slow and steady convert into small particles, macro, meso, and micro and nanoparticles. So this is the status condition of our oceans, where we used to throw all the discarded by the fishing gears. Next, please. So this is how, and this is one of shipping company contributed to marine pollution in 1970. Commercial shipping fleets around the world dumped over 23,000 tons of plastic waste into the marine environment. Now you can see here, we have extracted these small particles, small plastic particles from the ocean, and now you can see heaps are there. On July 24, 2012, 150 tons of noodles and other raw plastic materials spilled from the shipping vessels off to the coast near Hong Kong after a major storm. This waste from the Chinese company Sinopec was reported to have piled up large quantities on the beaches. So now this is the picture is just in front of you people, and the ships they used to discard these plastic material into the ocean, and after storm they come to the beaches, they come to the shore, and this is how they are being by the way ferried towards the other places. So this is how they are very dangerous nowadays. Next, please. So plastic water bottles. So in one study, 93% bottled water from 11 different brands showed microplastic contamination per liter. Researchers found an average of 325 microplastic particles. Of the tested brand, Nestle Pure Life bottles contain the most microplastic with 93 microplastic particles per liter respectively. So this is how. So the plastic bottles, water bottles are also one of the biggest contributor to microplastic. Compared to water from taps, water from plastic bottles contain twice as much microplastic. So the water we people are drinking from the plastic bottles, now the study is just in front of you. So this is how K325 microplastic particles from the different bottles. Then some of the contaminations likely come from the process of bottling and packaging the water. So some of the additives which are used for the production of plastic, they used to adhere inside outside. When we used to fill water into those bottles, and those microplastic they used to dissolve into the bottles. The bottles contain water, so we used to drink that water because it is very safe. But the study says the water from the tap is much we can say that is safe as compared to water we are drinking from these bottles. Next, please. So these are the heaps of bottles, so discarded bottles, so water bottles and other bottles. Next, please. So impact of microplastic on human being. So now you can see just in front of you, not even a single human body part which is safe from the microplastic. Each and every part, brain, lungs, so muscles, heart, liver, kidneys. So, and we can say reproductive parts, they nowadays contain microplastics. So this is a very starting study, starting revelation that human being, we cannot see human being in isolation, because human being, we used to eat each and everything in the microplastics are infested into our food chain. This is number one, and we can also inhale microplastic from the air as well. So that's why human being that contains, the study says that each and every organ of the human being that contains microplastic nowadays. Next, please. So impact on phytoplankton. So phytoplankton are major, we can say, biodiversity part of the oceans, or we can say fresh waters. Phytoplankton are those organisms which can float freely in the water, and they're microorganisms you people cannot see with your naked eye. And these are the phyto means plant, plankton means freely floating. So they can sway away with the current of water from one place to another places. So they are the food of some of the fishes. Some of the fishes are planktivorous. When these fishes they eat these plankton, and the plankton which are already infested with microplastic, those are being ingested by the fishes, and fishes are being eaten by the human being. So now you can see, and they can, if the phytoplankton are major contributor of, we can say, production of oxygen by the purpose of, by the means of photosynthesis. When microplastic were infested into these phytoplankton, and they can hinder the uh, process of photosynthesis in the water. So that's why we can see in future the less availability of dissolved oxygen in the ocean and fresh waters. When phytoplanktons are infested, and they can hinder the process for reduce the growth of reproduction. And when they entered into it, the growth of phytoplankton also reduced, also hindered. So this is how, that's why all over the globe we people are seeing the number of each organism is declined. Number of each and every organism declined due to all these interventions. So this is how things are. Next, please. So now these are the phytoplanktons. These are the very, these are the we can say a cyanophycy algae. This is, by the way, green algae. These are the diatoms. These are diatoms. These are very beautiful organisms. It's a very small in size, and you can see into the freshwater ecosystem as well, marine water ecosystem. These are beautiful organisms, and the study revealed that these organisms, these beautiful plants, small plants, they also absorb. We are also studying the phytoplanktons in our laboratory. We have studied phytoplankton from all the wetlands of Punjab, rivers of Punjab, and we have variety of phytoplankton, photograph phytoplankton in our laboratory. So these phytoplankton, which are very tiny particles, and they absorb these microplastics. And some of the fishes, some of the other organisms are herbivorous, or we can say planktivorous. When they eat these plastic, and they become infected with that. Next, please. So these are the zooplanktons now. Zooplankton are those small uh, faunal particles. Fauna means animals. Zooplankton, zoo means animal. Plankton means free floating, which can be swayed along with the current of the water. So they are also being also reduced feeding. When zooplankton, they contain microplastic in their body, and they reduce their feeding. A blockage of digestive tract. When they enter into their alimentary canal, that is blocked. So as the alimentary canal of cows and other stray animals is blocked with the eating of plastic from the dumps. So the same way in the water, these small tiny organisms, their digestive tract is being blocked, and that's why uh, they may reduce their population in future. Energetic deficiencies. So when they will not eat anything, their energy will be loose, and that's why the population has declined. Increased mortality due to the blockage of digestive tract, they can die into the water as well. Bioaccumulation, when they are eaten by the zooplankton, and zooplankton eaten by the other big organisms, small fishes, big fishes, and ultimately human being. So this is they can shed uh, dangerous effects. Next, please. So these are photographs of zooplankton present in the water. These are the microorganisms you people cannot see with the naked eye. Only with the microscopic studies you people can see these zooplankton as well. Next, please. So this is how the study reveals that there are number one here you can see small particles, microplastics. Microplastics are being eaten by the zooplankton and phytoplankton, and phytoplankton after that they are eaten by these crabs, small fishes, and small fishes are being eaten by the big fishes. This is known as bioaccumulation, and this fish ultimately eaten by the human being. So this is how so microplastic very dangerous, and they can reach up to the human being as well. Next, please. So this is impact of marine organisms. The same way they are being present in the ocean. I already explained the number of so many thousands of particles per cubic meter are present nowadays, and where these fishes are thriving. So number one, gut blockage, a heightened immune response, then we can reproductive processes. So this is how that's why flora fauna all over the globe is declining with a very fast pace. So next, please. So this is again the same with how they are being traveled from small organism to higher organisms. Next, please. So I already explained that these are being, by the way, present in the aquatic ecosystem, and from where these are the microplastics are eaten by the phytoplankton, zooplankton, other crabs, insects, and then insects are eaten by the fishes and small fishes, and small fish are being eaten by the big fishes. Next, please. In terrestrial ecosystem as well. So we have talked about air, or we have talked about water as well, and now these plastics are being present in the soil structure as well. And when they're present in the soil, they can reduce porosity and potentially impact nutrient availability for plants. Additionally, microplastic can absorb and transport pollutants, further contaminating soil and posing risk to both plant and animal life. So in Punjab, we are facing a water shortage. Every year, a 1 meter water 1 meter water is going deep. Water is receding like anything in Punjab, and if these microplastic will present in the pores from where water will be recharged into the ground, water will be recharged into the ground. Those pores are blocked with the microplastic, and the water absorb capacity of the soil will be drastically reduced, and that's why we are facing the problem of water recharging problem. So here in Punjab, that's why water of the, we can say, rainwater has goes waste. We cannot store, we cannot, that water cannot percolate deep into the soil due to the presence of plastic microparticles, mesoparticles, macroparticles in the pores. So this is how so many impacts are there. You can see in each and every component present on this earth, water, air, earth. So microplastic, they're playing their role nowadays. Negative role. Next, please. So beyond ecosystem and mitigation and future detected directions. So beyond ecosystem, we can see a ecosystem to beyond that human being is being the ultimate target of these microplastic. And mitigation and future directions, we people have to reduce the use of plastics, consumption, promoting biodegradable alternatives. We have to adopt those plastics which are easily biodegradable, which are coming due to new technologies nowadays. Next, please. So become embedded in animal tissues that are already explained in some of the, we can say, lug bombs, crustaceans. Next, please. We can show you the pictures. So this is our sea cucumber present in the seawater, and the study revealed that in this particular organism, and we have identified the PVC fragments. So next, please. This is by the sea cucumber, which is present in the sea. The study revealed that we people have identified the occurrence of microplastic in this beautiful organism present in the sea. Next, please. So coral reef present in the seashores, and they're beautiful organisms in these calcium phosphate and magnesium borne structures. They contain animals. So these animals are also infested with microplastic. Next, please. So now you can see these are, by the way, coral reefs present on the sea coast. Australia, in the boundary of Australia, the sea present in the boundary of Australia. These by the way, a mighty organism are present. These mighty structures are there, and in each and every pore there is an animal, this organism which used to build these by the way structures, and they also contained infested with microplastic nowadays, as he is having thousands of microplastic in 1 cubic centimeter. Next, please. So now beautiful corals, beautiful coral reefs are there in the sea structures, in the sea, and they're very colorful as well. And they are, by the way, diminishing nowadays with the advent of, we can say, chemical present in the water, heavy metal present in the water, and ultimately microplastic present in the water. And these organisms, they are being ingested, all these things. That's why, and they are uh, declining nowadays. Next, please. Effect on the environment that already discussed. So they can pose a very high risk towards our ecosystem and other organisms and other system, aquatic ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystem, and that is air. Next, please. So microplastic ingested with the fish and crustaceans. This is already done. So a study done at the State University of New York, 18 fish species were sampled, and all species showed some level of plastic in their in their system. So in their kidneys, in their alimentary canal, in their liver, in their reproductive system. So this is how it has also been thought that microplastic can act as a vector for pathogens as well, heavy metals. I already explained earlier that if microplastic present in the body, they can absorb heavy metals like anything, many folds. Otherwise, if microplastic are not present in the water, heavy metal ingestion that takes time. But if plastic is present, then these heavy metals can be absorbed easily into the body of the, we can say that is organisms. Next, please. More specifically, pregnant women in particular are in danger of causing birth defects to male infants, such as uh, anogenital distance, pineal width, and testicular descendant. So we can say male reproductive organs can be affected very much if the microplastic present in them. So anogenital distances. So this is how things can happen. So it means it can cause infertility in male uh, part. So so BPA, the bisphenol A, is a commonly well-known substance that is an ingredient used to harden plastic that can also cause a wide range of disorders, cardiovascular diseases. So BPA used for the production of plastic. So this is very dangerous, by the way, chemical. Cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and abnormalities in the liver enzyme are a few disorders that can arise from small exposure to this chemical. So this is how not only microplastic, the chemicals used, I already explained, used to produce these plastics, they can harm the human being as well. Next, please. So other chemicals used, that is tetrabromobisphenol, which is a flame retardant in many different types of plastic, such as those used in microcircuits. So microcircuit which are used in our electronics. So टीवी हो गए, फ्रिज हो गए, सारे हो गए ना ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ plates, there we use this chemical, and this chemical is, we can say, it is a flame retardant. So when we will use this chemical, the these circuits cannot get any, we can say, fire. So and they are very very, when they dissolve into the water with the advent of those we can say electronic devices, and when they present in the water, and they can cause disruption thyroid hormones balance, pituitary function, and infertility. Infertility is the one of the major cause with these chemicals. So this is how the endocrine system is affected by TBPA through disruption of the natural T3 function. So we can say they can cause hypo and hypothyroidism, and ultimately diabetes. Next, please. So there are so many examples bioaccumulation in the food. So 123 microplastic particles each capita of the microplastic through mussel consumption in the US. Mussel is a one of the we can say that is ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਪੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. So those are being eaten by the foreigners, and in those we can say organism again micro 123 are present. So in 2018 study conducted on 8 individuals from Europe and Japan found microplastics in human feces for the first time. We have studied feces even. So this is how it's very alarming, very challenging nowadays. A microplastic is being ingested by we people nowadays, and that's why they are occurring, because they cannot be degraded. That's why they have studied in the feces as well. So this is how. So how they come into entered into the human being. So we can say plastic wrapped food, drunk from the plastic bottles. So this is how things are. Next, please. So public awareness about recycling. So it is very important that earlier, what happened there is, okay, earlier we have the polythene bag we people are using. Those were 50 to 70 microns. Their thickness were 50 to 70 micron, but they're very very thin, and they immediately by the way, we cannot reuse those polythenes when their thickness is very less. And in 2000 by the way 22 we have increased the thickness to 120 micron, and they are little thick nowadays, and we can reuse. So the government says that you people, you please don't throw those polythenes after using once. You can use multiple times, because nowadays it is 120 micron and it is very thick, so it can be used again and again. And as energy, so we people can use uh, using of energy from plastics and atmosphere in landfills. This process turns some of the plastic back into energy that can be used. Recycled plastic is considered more efficient solutions. So in one of the study, we people can produce hydrogen fuel from the plastics. So this study is going on nowadays. That's why we if we have plenty of plastic is there, reused plastic which is floating here and there, which is being high in dumping sites, we people can segregate at source that plastic, and we can produce energy in the form of hydrogen from these plastics. Next please. Next please. It is done by the way. So thank you very much for your patient hearing. Thank you. So ultimately, we can say okay, these microplastics very very dangerous. And from my presentation, you people have might have aware nowadays okay, it is present in each and every component. No, not anything you people can see in isolation. So everywhere microplastic is there. So ultimately, we people have to stop the use of plastic articles in our households. Definitely, definitely. Everything contains microplastic, and if every definitely, definitely, definitely. And we people have to switch towards the satchels again. ਝੋਲੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਝੋਲੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਦੇ, ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਪਏਗਾ, ਅਦਰਵਾਈਜ਼ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੰਮ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੈ ਮੈਡਮ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਹਾਂ ਹਾਂ, ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਡੈਫੀਨਿਟਲੀ ਹਾਂ। ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਡੈਫੀਨਿਟਲੀ, ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂ ਹਾਂ, ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ। ਡੰਪਿੰਗ ਸਾਈਟਸ ਫੁੱਲ ਆਫ ਦਿਸ ਪੋਲੀਥੀਨ ਕੈਰੀ ਬੈਗਸ। ਮੈਡਮ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਨੰਬਰ 1 ਕਿ we people have to give alternative solutions to the industry which are producing polythene bags. This is number 1. ठीक है, if government will not provide alternative solutions, so the companies cannot stop producing, and in Himachal we have totally banned the use of polythene. And हाँ, 20 साल हो गया हाँ, ਤੇ again we definitely ਡੈਫੀਨਿਟਲੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ 'ਚ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਏਗਾ। ਅਲਟੀਮੇਟਲੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋਗੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ 'ਚ ਪੌਂਡ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, all are infested with polythenes. So slow and steady with the UV rays, they will degrade and they will become microparticles, microplastic and nanoparticles. There, those will be ingested by the phytoplankton, zooplankton, and ultimately fishes. ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ ਮੈਡਮ। ਸੋ ਹਾਂ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਯੂ। ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਹਾਂ, ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਹਾਂ ਹਾਂ, ਬਸ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ। ਹੂੰ ਹੂੰ, ਡੈਫੀਨਿਟਲੀ ਹਾਂ 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 ਹਾਂ, ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਡਮ। ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਇਨਫਰਟੀਲਿਟੀ, ਇਨਫਰਟੀਲਿਟੀ ਹਾਂ, ਇਨਫਰਟੀਲਿਟੀ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅਗਲੀ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਦਾ ਕਰ ਪਾਉਂਗੇ, ਸਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈਗੀ। ਸੋ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ, ਹਾਂ ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ ਮਾਈਕਰੋਪਲਾਸਟਿਕ ਐਕਟ ਐਜ਼ ਟ੍ਰੈਟੋਜਨਸ। ਹਾਂ ਹਾਂ, ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ, ਹਾਂ ਹਾਂ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਹਾਂ ਹਾਂ ਹਾਂ। ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪਲਾਸਟਿਕ ਤਾਂ ਐਵਰੀਵੇਅਰ ਇਜ਼ देयर, ਪਰ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰਿਵਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੱਦ ਤੱਕ ਸਾਫ਼ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਈਵਨ, ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਈਕਰੋਪਲਾਸਟਿਕ ਇਜ਼ देयर। ਸੋ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਹਾਊ ਦ ਥਿੰਗਸ ਆਰ। ਹਾਂਜੀ 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 ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਬਿਲਕੁਲ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया डॉक्टर सुलक्षण और ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਇਸ ਲੈਕਚਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੁੱਖ ਵਕਤਾ ਵਜੋਂ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਓਮਕਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ, ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਪਟਿਆਲਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਜਗਤ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਟੇਟ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਪਟਿਆਲਾ ਦੇ ਮੁਕਾਬਲੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜਗਤ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਟੇਟ ਓਪਨ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਪਟਿਆਲਾ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਹਾਂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਓਮਕਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦੇ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੀਮਤੀ ਸਮੇਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਸਮਾਂ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਮਹੱਤਵਪੂਰਨ ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਤੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਸਾਂਝੇ। ਇਸ ਹੋਣੀ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਵੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਮਾਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਜੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਾਗਰੂਕਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਭਵਿੱਖ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਮਾਨਸਿਕ ਤੇ ਸਰੀਰਕ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਕਮਜ਼ੋਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ। ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਤੱਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਹਵਾਲੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ, ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵਿਸਥਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੱਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਹਵਾਲੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਗਤ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਟੇਟ ਓਪਨ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਆਸ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੋਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਰਹਿਣ। ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫੇਰ ਮੈਂ ਜਗਤ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਟੇਟ ਓਪਨ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਓਮਕਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦਾ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀਮਤੀ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਹੱਤਵਪੂਰਨ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਸਾਂਝੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਹਨ। ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਸਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ।
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਮੈਡਮ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ। ਕੈਨ ਆਈ ਲੀਵ ਨਾਓ? ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ।